What if I told you that a single runaway dog, yes, a fluffy, mischievous little pup, could unravel a billionaire's perfectly polished life and lead him straight into a love story so unexpected, so heart-pounding, that it'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about fate? Picture this: a sleek private jet touches down in the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles, and out steps a man who has it all. Money, power, and a life most of us can only dream of. But when his loyal companion, a dog who's been by his side through every boardroom battle, bolts into the neon-lit streets, everything changes. That dog doesn't just run away. It runs straight into the arms of a woman who's about to turn this billionaire's world upside down. Who is she? Why does this moment feel like the universe itself is pulling the strings? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to get the answers you came for, and trust me, they're worth the wait. This is the story of a billionaire's dog runs away, and straight into the arms of the woman who captures his heart, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's dive into a tale of love, mystery, and a dog who just might be the best matchmaker in Hollywood. Now, let's talk about you for a second. You're here because you love a good story, right? Maybe you're a hopeless romantic who believes in love at first sight, or maybe you're just curious about how a dog, yes, a dog, could spark a connection that changes lives. Either way, I get it. We all want to feel that spark, that moment when life surprises us and makes our hearts race. That's exactly what this video is going to do. I'm not just telling you a story. I'm inviting you into a world where every twist and turn feels personal, like it's speaking directly to you. You're going to laugh, you're going to gasp, and you might even tear up a little. Because this isn't just about a billionaire or his dog. It's about the moments that make us human, the ones that remind us why we keep searching for connection, for love, for something real. And here's my promise to you: if you stay with me until the end, you're going to find out exactly how this unlikely trio, a billionaire, a dog, and a mysterious woman, come together in a way that'll leave you smiling and maybe even believing in destiny a little more than you did before. So, don't click away. Don't let that next video in your recommended feed steal your attention. This is the one you've been waiting for, and I'm going to make sure you feel every second of it. Let's set the scene. It's a warm, golden evening in Los Angeles, the kind where the city feels alive with possibility. The streets are buzzing with dreamers, artists, and hustlers, all chasing their own version of the American dream. Our billionaire, Ethan Caldwell, is at the top of his game. He's the kind of guy you'd see on the cover of Forbes. Sharp suit, sharper mind, and a smile that could close $1 million deal. Ethan's built an empire from the ground up. A tech mogul who's revolutionized the way we connect online. But behind the private jets and penthouse views, there's something missing. You see, Ethan's life looks perfect on the outside, but it's lonely at the top. His only real companion? A scrappy golden-furred dog named Max, who's been with him since the early days when Ethan was just a kid with big dreams and a laptop. Max isn't just a pet. He's family, the one constant in a world of fleeting handshakes and superficial smiles. So when Max slips out of his collar during a chaotic moment at a high-profile event and disappears into the crowded streets, Ethan's world stops. This isn't just about losing a dog. It's about losing the one thing that keeps him grounded. You're probably wondering, how does a billionaire lose his dog in the first place? And more importantly, where does Max go? Don't worry, I'm getting there, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Now, let's talk about the woman who's about to change everything. Across town, in a cozy little apartment filled with plants and secondhand furniture, lives Harper Quinn. She's not a celebrity or a socialite. She's just a regular woman with a big heart and a knack for finding beauty in the everyday. Harper's a photographer, always chasing the perfect shot, whether it's a sunset over the Pacific or a candid moment in a bustling market. She's got this way of seeing the world that makes you feel like anything is possible, like every day could be the start of something extraordinary. But Harper's got her own struggles. She's been burned by love before, and she's not exactly looking for a fairy tale. She's happy with her quiet life, her camera, and her dreams of one day showcasing her work in a gallery. That is, until a certain golden-furred dog comes barreling into her life, tail wagging and eyes full of mischief. When Harper finds Max, lost and confused in a park, she doesn't know he belongs to a billionaire. All she sees is a dog who needs help, and her heart won't let her walk away. But here's where things get juicy. When Ethan tracks down Max, he meets Harper, and let's just say the sparks fly in ways neither of them expected. Is this just a chance encounter, or is something bigger at play? You're going to have to keep watching to find out, because I'm not spilling all the secrets just yet. let's talk about why this story matters. You've probably seen a million rom-coms or love stories on YouTube, but this one's different. It's not just about two people falling in love. It's about what happens when life throws you a curveball and forces you to rethink everything. Ethan's got all the money in the world, but can it buy him happiness? Harper's got a heart of gold, but is she ready to let someone in again? And Max? Well, Max might just be the key to unlocking it all. This story is about second chances, about the way the universe has a funny way of bringing people together when they least expect it. It's about the moments that make you laugh, cry, and believe that maybe, just maybe, there's a little magic left in the world. And here's the thing. You're not just watching this story, you're living it with me. I want you to feel like you're right there in Los Angeles, feeling the warm breeze, hearing the city hum, and rooting for Ethan, Harper, and Max to find their way. You're part of this journey, and I'm so grateful you're here. So, don't hit that skip button. Don't let this moment pass you by. You came here for a reason, and I'm going to make sure you leave with a story you'll never forget. Now, let's talk about the stakes. When Ethan and Harper meet, it's not just a cute moment. It's the start of something that could change their lives forever. But it's not going to be easy. Ethan's world is all about control, schedules, and power moves, and Harper's free-spirited nature challenges everything he's ever known. Meanwhile, Harper's got her own walls up, and trusting someone like Ethan, a man who seems too good to be true, feels like a risk she's not sure she's ready to take. And then there's Max, who's got a knack for stirring up trouble and bringing people together in the most unexpected ways. As Ethan and Harper start to unravel the mystery of why Max ran away in the first place, they're forced to confront their own fears, their own dreams, and the possibility that love might be worth fighting for. But here's the kicker. There's a secret about Max that neither of them knows, something that could turn this whole story upside down. What is it? Why did Max choose Harper? And what happens when the truth comes out? You're dying to know, aren't you? Good. That means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Keep watching, because the answers are coming, and they're going to hit you right in the feels. I want to take a moment to connect with you, because this isn't just about Ethan, Harper, and Max. It's about us. You and me, sharing this moment, this story, this feeling. Maybe you've had a day where everything felt heavy, and you just needed something to lift your spirits. Maybe you've been searching for a sign that things are going to get better, that love and happiness are still out there. This video is for you. It's a reminder that life is full of surprises, that even when things seem impossible, the universe has a way of working things out. I'm here with you, rooting for you, just like I'm rooting for our characters. And I'm asking you to stick with me, to trust me, to let this story unfold and sweep you away. You're not just a viewer. You're part of this. You're the reason I'm telling this story. So, let's do this together. Let's dive into the heart of this tale and see where it takes us. You're not going to regret it, I promise. Here's where things get really interesting. As Ethan and Harper start to spend more time together, drawn together by Max and a series of coincidences that feel too perfect to be random, the chemistry between them is undeniable. But there's a shadow looming over their budding connection. Ethan's world is full of people who want a piece of him. Business rivals, exes, and tabloid reporters who'd love nothing more than to dig up dirt on the billionaire's new mystery woman. Harper, on the other hand, just wants to protect her heart and her quiet life. Can they find a way to make this work, or will the pressures of their different worlds tear them apart before they even get started? And what about Max? That little dog seems to know something they don't, and his antics are leading them toward a truth that's bigger than either of them could have imagined. I'm not going to spoil it here, but let's just say that by the time this video ends, you're going to be on the edge of your seat, begging for more. So, here's my challenge to you. Don't click away. Stay with me. You came here to find out what happens when a billionaire's dog runs away and changes everything, and I'm going to deliver. But you've got to trust me and keep watching. Right now, you're probably wondering, what's the deal with Max? Why did he run away? And how does he keep bringing Ethan and Harper together? I'll give you a little hint. Max isn't just any dog. He's got a story of his own, and it's tied to something so unexpected, so heartwarming, that it's going to make you see this whole tale in a new light. But I'm not telling you yet. You've got to earn that reveal by sticking with me through every twist and turn. This is your moment, your chance to lose yourself in a story that's going to make you laugh, make you think, and maybe even make you believe in love again. So let's keep going. Let's follow Max, Ethan, and Harper as they navigate the chaos, the romance, and the secrets that are about to come to light. You're in this with me, and I'm so excited to see where this journey takes us. But just as Ethan and Harper are about to take a leap of faith, something happens. Something that changes everything. What is it? And will it bring them closer together or tear them apart forever? You'll have to watch to find out. You're still here, and I'm so glad you are, because things are about to get even wilder in this tale of a billionaire, his runaway dog, and the woman who's turning his world upside down. Just when Ethan Caldwell and Harper Quinn thought they were starting to figure things out, a single moment, a fleeting heart-stopping twist, throws everything into chaos. Picture this: Ethan, standing in the soft glow of a Los Angeles street lamp, his tailored suit slightly rumpled from chasing after Max, locks eyes with Harper as she cradles his dog in her arms. There's a spark, a connection that feels like it's been written in the stars, but before they can even process it, a sleek black car screeches to a halt nearby, and a figure from Ethan's past steps out, someone who knows secrets that could unravel everything. Who is this person? What do they want? And why does Max, that mischievous golden-furred pup, suddenly growl in a way that makes Harper's heart race with unease? You're probably itching to know, and I promise you the answers are coming, but we've got to dive deeper into this story first. Let's peel back the layers of Ethan and Harper's lives, explore the city that's buzzing around them, and uncover the subplots and mysteries that are making this love story so much more than it seems. Grab your popcorn, because this is where the plot thickens, and I'm taking you along for every heart-pounding moment. Let's start with Ethan, because there's so much more to this billionaire than meets the eye. On the surface, he's the poster child for success. A tech genius who built a social media empire that's changed the way millions connect. His app, ConnectSphere, is the kind of platform you probably use every day to share your life, your dreams, your viral TikTok dances. But building that empire came at a cost. Ethan grew up in a small town, far from the glitz of LA, where money was tight, and dreams felt like luxuries. He was the kid who stayed up late coding in his bedroom, fueled by cheap coffee and a belief that he could make something of himself. Max was there back then, a stray he found shivering in an alley and nursed back to health. That dog became his anchor, a reminder of where he came from, even as private jets and penthouses became his reality. But here's the thing. Ethan's success has made him a target. There are people in his world, competitors, former partners, even old friends, who'd love to see him fall. And that black car that just pulled up? It's tied to a deal Ethan made years ago, one he thought was buried in the past. A deal that involved a woman named Vanessa, a brilliant coder who once worked alongside him but vanished after a bitter fallout. Is she back to help him or hurt him? And why does her sudden appearance make Ethan feel like the ground is slipping out from under him? You're starting to see it, aren't you? This isn't just a love story. It's a puzzle, and every piece is leading us somewhere thrilling. Now let's shift to Harper, because she's not just the girl who found Max. She's a force of her own, with a story that's going to pull at your heartstrings. Harper Quinn grew up in the Pacific Northwest, where rainy days and quiet forests shaped her love for capturing the world through her camera lens. She moved to LA 3 years ago, chasing a dream of turning her photography into a career, but the city's been tougher than she expected. She works freelance gigs, snapping photos for weddings and small businesses, but her real passion is her art. Gritty, soulful shots of everyday life that make you stop and feel something. Harper's apartment is a cozy mess of camera gear, thrift store finds, and plants she talks to when she thinks no one's listening. But beneath her warm smile and easy laugh, there's a guardedness. 2 years ago, she fell hard for a musician who promised her the world and then left her heart in pieces when he chased fame to Nashville. Since then, Harper's sworn off love, focusing on her work and her independence. So when Max crashes into her life, followed by Ethan with his piercing blue eyes and disarming charm, it's like the universe is testing her resolve. She feels the pull toward Ethan, but she's not sure she can trust it, or him. And here's where it gets interesting. Harper's been getting anonymous messages on her photography blog, cryptic notes praising her work but hinting at something she's missing, something tied to a photo she took months ago in a crowded LA market. Could it be connected to Max? To Ethan? Or is someone watching her for reasons she can't yet fathom? You're hooked now, I can tell, and I'm loving that you're right here with me. Let's talk about Max, because that dog is more than just a furry sidekick. He's the heartbeat of this story. Max isn't your average pet. He's got a personality that could steal the show. He's loyal but stubborn, the kind of dog who'll sit by Ethan's side during a late-night work session but also dart after a squirrel without a second thought. When he ran away from that high-profile event, it wasn't just a random escape. Max has a history of bolting when something feels off, almost like he's got a sixth sense for trouble. Ethan's always chalked it up to Max being quirky, but Harper's starting to wonder if there's more to it. The night Max found her, he was carrying something in his collar, a tiny crumpled note with a single word, "Find." Find what? Find who? Harper hasn't told Ethan about it yet, partly because she's not sure what it means and partly because she's afraid of what it might uncover. Max, meanwhile, seems to be playing matchmaker, nudging Ethan and Harper together with every wag of his tail. But there's a shadow over Max's story too. Ethan's noticed that Max has been acting strange lately, more restless than usual, and a vet visit revealed something unsettling. Max's microchip, the one Ethan had installed years ago, isn't registering properly. It's like someone tampered with it. Is Max hiding a secret from his past? Could he have belonged to someone else before Ethan found him? These questions are swirling, and they're pulling you deeper into the mystery, just like I knew they would. The city of Los Angeles is practically a character in this story, and it's setting the stage for every twist and turn. From the sun-drenched beaches of Santa Monica to the neon-lit chaos of Hollywood Boulevard, LA is a place where dreams are born and secrets are buried. Ethan's world is all glass skyscrapers and exclusive rooftop parties, where every smile hides an agenda. Harper's LA is different. Gritty street markets, hole-in-the-wall coffee shops, and quiet parks where she can lose herself in her photography. When their worlds collide, it's like two different versions of the city are merging, each revealing something new about the other. But LA has its own secrets too. There's a rumor floating around the city's elite circles, one that Ethan's been trying to ignore. A hacker group, known only as The Collective, has been targeting tech moguls like him, digging up dirt and exposing their weaknesses. Ethan's team thinks it's just gossip, but Vanessa's sudden return makes him wonder if The Collective is closer than he thought. Meanwhile, Harper's been noticing a strange figure in the background of her photos, someone who seems to show up in places they shouldn't. Is it a coincidence? Or is someone following her? The city's pulse is quickening, and you can feel it, can't you? This story is building towards something big, and you're right in the middle of it. Let's introduce a subplot that's going to add even more spice to this tale. Meet Lila, Harper's best friend and a bartender at a trendy downtown lounge. Lila's the kind of person who says exactly what's on her mind, with a laugh that can light up a room and a knack for reading people like an open book. She's been Harper's rock through every heartbreak and triumph, and when Harper tells her about Ethan and Max, Lila's immediately suspicious. Not because Ethan's a billionaire, Lila doesn't care about money, but because she's seen Harper get hurt before. Lila's got her own story though, and it's about to weave into this one. She's been saving up to open her own bar, a dream she's been chasing for years. But lately, she's been getting pressure from a shady investor who's offering her the cash she needs in exchange for some questionable favors. Lila's not one to back down, but this deal is starting to feel dangerous, and it's pulling her into a world of secrets that might connect to Ethan's past. When Lila overhears a conversation at her bar about a tech mogul and a missing piece of code, she starts to wonder if Ethan's empire is built on something shadier than he's letting on. She hasn't told Harper yet, she doesn't want to worry her, but Lila's digging, and what she finds could change everything. You're starting to see how all these threads are coming together, aren't you? This story is a tapestry, and every tug on one thread reveals something new. The tension is building, and I can feel you leaning in, wanting more. Ethan and Harper are circling each other, drawn together by Max and a chemistry that's impossible to ignore, but the obstacles are piling up. Vanessa's return has Ethan on edge, and her cryptic comments about unfinished business are making him question everything he thought he knew about his own success. Harper's trying to focus on her photography, but those anonymous messages on her blog are getting harder to ignore, especially when one includes a photo of Max taken before she ever met him. And Max, that dog is up to something, leading Ethan and Harper on a trail that's starting to feel less like coincidence and more like destiny. But just as they're starting to trust each other, a late-night phone call changes everything. It's from someone who claims to know why Max ran away, and they're demanding something from Ethan that could cost him more than just money. What do they want? And what does it have to do with the note Harper found in Max's collar? You're dying to know, I can tell, and I'm not going to leave you hanging forever. But we're not there yet. This story is a roller coaster, and we're just hitting the first big climb. So, stick with me, because the next twist is going to leave you speechless, and I can't wait to share it with you. Alright, you're still with me, and I'm thrilled because this story is about to take a turn that'll have you gripping the edge of your seat. Just when Ethan Caldwell and Harper Quinn thought they were starting to piece together the mystery of Max's runaway adventure and their undeniable connection, The late-night phone call that interrupted their moment under the Los Angeles stars flips everything upside down. The voice on the other end wasn't just cryptic, it was chilling, demanding something from Ethan that makes his blood run cold, a piece of code, buried deep in the foundations of Connect's sphere, that he swore he'd never touch again. This isn't just about money or power. It's personal, tied to a betrayal Ethan thought he'd left behind years ago. And here's the kicker. The caller mentioned Max by name, hinting that the dog's escape wasn't an accident but part of a plan to lure Ethan into a trap. As Harper watches Ethan's face pale, her own heart races, not just because of the danger, but because she's starting to realize that the note she found in Max's collar, the one that simply said, "Find," might be the key to unraveling this whole mess. But before they can even catch their breath, an unexpected twist crashes into their lives. Harper's latest blog post, featuring a photo of Max, goes viral, drawing the attention of someone who claims to know the dog's true origins, and they're not who they seem. Who is this stranger? What do they know about Max? And why does their sudden appearance feel like the spark that's about to set this entire story ablaze? You're not going anywhere, are you? Good, because this is where the stakes skyrocket, and I'm pulling you deeper into the heart of this billionaire's love story, where every secret is a step closer to a truth that could change everything. Let's dive into that phone call, because it's the moment that turns this tale from a romantic mystery into a high-stakes thriller. Ethan standing in Harper's tiny apartment, Max curled up at their feet, when his phone buzzes with an unknown number. The voice on the other end is distorted, like something out of a spy movie, and it knows things about Ethan's past, about a project he worked on with Vanessa before Connect Sphere became a household name. Back then, they were young, ambitious, and maybe a little reckless, building a prototype for a security algorithm that could have changed the tech world. But something went wrong. A hack, a betrayal, and a promise to destroy the code forever. Ethan thought he'd kept that promise, but the caller claims it's still out there, hidden in Connect Sphere servers, and they want it. If Ethan doesn't deliver, they'll expose a truth about Max that could shatter his world. Harper, overhearing just enough to know this is serious, feels a chill run down her spine. She's no tech genius, but she's smart enough to see that Ethan's hiding something, and it's not just about the code. When she presses him, his eyes flicker with guilt, and he admits that Max wasn't just a stray he found. There's a gap in the dog's story, a time before Ethan took him in, that he's never fully understood. Could Max have been part of someone else's life, someone connected to this dangerous game? You're feeling the tension now, aren't you? This isn't just about a billionaire and a photographer anymore. It's about a dog who's carrying secrets that could bring down an empire. Now let's talk about that viral blog post, because it's the twist that no one saw coming. Harper's always shared her photography online, but her latest post, a candid shot of Max bounding through a park, his golden fur glowing in the sunlight, explodes across social media. It's shared thousands of times, popping up on Instagram Reels, TikTok trends, and even trending on YouTube under hashtags like #DogLove and #ViralPets. At first, Harper's thrilled. This kind of attention could finally get her work noticed by galleries. But then the comments start pouring in, and one stands out. A user named Shadowlens claims they recognize Max from years ago, before Ethan ever entered the picture. They send Harper a private message with a blurry photo of a dog that looks eerily like Max, standing next to a woman whose face is obscured. The message is vague but urgent. You need to know who he really belongs to. Harper's stomach twists. She hasn't told Ethan yet. She's not sure she can trust him with everything, not after that phone call, but the message feels like a warning. Is Max more than just a loyal companion? Could he be tied to someone from Ethan's past, someone who's now circling back to settle a score? And here's where it gets even crazier. When Harper tries to reply to Shadowlens, the account vanishes, like it never existed. The internet's buzzing, but Harper's left with more questions than answers, and you're right there with her, wondering how a single photo could turn this love story into a labyrinth of intrigue. The subplots are weaving tighter now, and Lila's story is adding fuel to the fire. Harper's best friend has always been a force of nature, slinging drinks at her downtown bar while chasing her dream of opening her own place. But that shady investor she's been dealing with? He's not just pushy, he's dangerous. Lila's starting to suspect he's connected to the same hacker group, the Collective, that's been whispering through LA's tech circles. One night, while cleaning up after closing, she overhears a hushed conversation between two patrons about a lost asset, and a tech mogul who's about to lose everything. The name Coldwell comes up, and Lila's ears perk up. She's not one to sit idly by, so she starts digging, using her street smarts and bar connections to piece things together. What she finds is a trail leading back to Vanessa, Ethan's old partner, who's been spotted in LA meeting with some questionable figures. Lila's torn. She wants to protect Harper, but she's also worried that confronting Ethan could put her friend in danger. Meanwhile, her investors' demands are getting more aggressive, and he's hinted that he knows about Harper's viral post. Is he part of the collective? Or is he just a pawn in a bigger game? Lila's story is colliding with Ethan and Harper's, and you can feel the threads tightening, pulling you toward a climax that's going to be explosive. The city of Los Angeles is practically pulsing with tension now, its glittering surface hiding a darker undercurrent. Ethan's world of high-rise offices and exclusive clubs feels like a pressure cooker, with every meeting and phone call laced with the threat of exposure. Harper's LA, with its vibrant street art and quiet corners, is starting to feel less safe, especially after she notices that same shadowy figure from her photos lingering near her apartment. Max, ever the intuitive pup, seems to sense the danger too, sticking closer to Harper and Ethan than ever before. But Max is also leading them somewhere. His restless energy pulls them toward a run-down part of the city, where an old warehouse catches Ethan's eye. It's a place he hasn't thought about in years, a relic from his early days with Vanessa, where they worked on that fateful prototype. When Ethan and Harper step inside, they find something that makes their hearts stop. A hidden server room, still humming with activity, and a single file labeled Max. Before they can investigate further, the lights flicker, and footsteps echo in the distance. Someone's coming, and they're not alone. Who's behind this? Is it Vanessa, the collective, or someone entirely new? And what does that file have to do with a dog who's become the heart of this story? You're on the edge of your seat, I can tell, and I'm loving every second of sharing this with you. The stakes have never been higher, and the chemistry between Ethan and Harper is electric, even as the danger closes in. Every glance, every touch, feels like a lifeline, but trust is fragile. Harper's wrestling with whether to show Ethan the note from Max's collar, afraid it'll push him away. Ethan's torn between protecting Harper and confronting the ghosts of his past. And Max. That dog is the glue holding them together, but his own secrets are starting to surface, threatening to unravel the bond they've built. As they race against time to uncover the truth about the code, the collar, and Max's origins, a new player enters the game. A journalist named Marcus, who's been chasing a story about Connect Sphere for months. He's got evidence that could expose Ethan's empire, but he's also got a personal connection to Harper. One that makes her question everything she thought she knew about her own past. Marcus claims he's on their side, but his timing is too perfect, and his motives are murky. Is he a friend or a foe? And what does he know about the woman in the blurry photo from Shadowlands? The plot is thickening, and you're right in the thick of it, feeling every twist and turn. But just as Ethan and Harper prepare to open that mysterious file, a deafening crash echoes through the warehouse, and a voice calls out. A voice that Ethan recognizes, and it's not Vanessa's. Who is it? And what do they want with Max? You're not clicking away now, are you? Stick with me because this story's about to explode, and you won't believe what happens next. You've made it this far, and I'm so grateful you're still here, because we're about to hit the heart-pounding climax of this wild ride. A billionaire, his runaway dog, and the woman who's captured his heart, all colliding in a moment that'll leave you speechless. The warehouse is dark, the air thick with tension, as Ethan Caldwell and Harper Quinn stand frozen, the hum of the hidden server room drowned out by that deafening crash and a voice that cuts through the shadows. Ethan's face drains of color as he recognizes it. Not Vanessa, not a stranger, but his estranged brother Lucas, a man he hasn't seen in a decade, someone he thought was gone from his life forever. Lucas steps into the dim light, his eyes sharp with a mix of anger and desperation, and he's holding a flash drive that he claims contains the truth about Max, the code, and a betrayal that's been festering since the early days of Connect Sphere. Harper clutches Max, her mind racing as she pieces together the note in his collar, the viral photo, and the cryptic messages from Shadowlands. This is it, the moment where every secret, every mystery, comes crashing together. But just when you think you've got it figured out, a final twist is about to flip this story on its head, tying up every loose end in a way that'll make your jaw drop. Stick with me, because we're diving into the climax and resolution of A Billionaire's Dog Runs Away, and straight into the arms of the woman who captures his heart, and I promise, this ending is going to stay with you long after the video ends. Let's unpack this explosive moment in the warehouse, because it's where the main conflict reaches its peak. Lucas, Ethan's older brother, was once his closest ally, a brilliant hacker who helped lay the groundwork for Connect Sphere before a falling out drove them apart. Ethan always believed Lucas walked away out of jealousy, but the truth is far darker. Lucas reveals that he was the one who created the security algorithm Ethan and Vanessa later built upon. But when a rival company tried to steal it, Lucas took the fall to protect Ethan's fledgling startup. He disappeared, letting Ethan think he'd betrayed him, all to keep the code safe. But the code wasn't destroyed. It was hidden in ConnectSphere servers, and Max, that scrappy golden dog, was Lucas's companion during those early days, a gift from their late mother. The note in Max's collar, "Find," was Lucas's desperate attempt to reach Ethan, planted when he saw Max at that high-profile event and knew it was his chance to reconnect. The distorted phone calls, the threats, they were Lucas's misguided way of forcing Ethan to confront the past. Harper, listening to this, feels her heart break for both brothers, but she's also terrified, because Lucas isn't alone. The collective, the hacker group circling Ethan, has tracked them to the warehouse, and they want the code for their own gain. As alarms blare and footsteps close in, Ethan and Harper realize they have to make a choice. Protect the code and risk everything, or destroy it and lose ConnectSphere's foundation. You're feeling the intensity, aren't you? This is the moment where love, loyalty, and sacrifice collide, and it's going to change everything. The climax erupts as Ethan, Harper, and Lucas scramble to outsmart the collective. Harper, thinking fast, remembers the file labeled Max on the server. She urges Ethan to open it, and what they find is a bombshell. It's not just the algorithm. It's a digital ledger, proof that the collective has been blackmailing tech moguls across LA, including Ethan's old rival, Vanessa. Lucas admits he's been working against the collective from the inside, using Shadowlens to leak clues to Harper, hoping she'd connect the dots. That viral photo of Max? It was Lucas's way of drawing attention, knowing it'd force the collective to act. But time's running out. The hackers burst into the server room, led by none other than Harper's shady journalist contact, Marcus, who's been playing both sides, feeding information to the collective while pretending to help Harper. In a heart-stopping standoff, Ethan offers himself as a bargaining chip, promising to hand over the code if the collective lets Harper and Lucas go. Harper, refusing to let Ethan sacrifice himself, reveals the note from Max's collar, using it to stall Marcus by claiming it's a key to a backup server. It's a bluff, but it buys them just enough time for Lila, yes, Harper's fierce best friend, to show up with the police, tipped off by her own digging into her shady investor, who was linked to the collective. The hackers are arrested, the ledger is secured, and Max, barking wildly, leaps into Lucas's arms, reuniting with his first owner in a moment that brings tears to everyone's eyes. You're on the edge of your seat, feeling every heartbeat of this resolution, and I'm right here with you, loving every second of it. With the main conflict resolved, let's tie up the subplots and bring this story home. Lila's bravery not only saves the day but also frees her from her investor's grip. She's now got a clear path to open her dream bar, and she's already planning to name a cocktail after Max. Vanessa, who's been lurking in the background, comes clean to Ethan, admitting she knew about Lucas's sacrifice but stayed silent out of guilt. She offers to help rebuild ConnectSphere security, and though Ethan's trust in her is shaky, he agrees to a truce, knowing it's what Lucas would want. Harper's photography career takes off, thanks to the viral post, and she's offered a gallery show, where she plans to feature a series inspired by Max's journey. But the emotional heart of this resolution is Ethan and Harper's love story. In the chaos, they've found something real. A connection that's weathered secrets, danger, and their own fears. Ethan, inspired by Harper's courage, decides to scale back his empire, focusing on projects that matter, like a foundation to help stray dogs like Max. Harper, finally ready to trust again, opens her heart to Ethan, and their first real date, a quiet picnic in the park with Max, feels like the start of something beautiful. The city of Los Angeles, once a maze of secrets, now sparkles with possibility. It sunsets a reminder that even the darkest nights lead to new beginnings. You're smiling now, aren't you? This is the kind of ending that warms your heart and makes you believe in love, loyalty, and second chances. But wait. Here's the final twist that'll leave you in awe. As Ethan, Harper, and Lucas sort through the aftermath, they find a hidden message in the Max file, embedded by their late mother before she passed. It's a letter, written to both brothers, urging them to forgive each other and never lose sight of family. She reveals that Max was her last gift to them, chosen because he had a knack for bringing people together. The letter ends with a cryptic line, "He'll always lead you home." Harper, reading this, realizes that Max's microchip, the one that seemed tampered with, wasn't broken. It was programmed to emit a signal only Lucas could track, a fail-safe their mother created to ensure the brothers would find each other again. Max wasn't just a runaway dog. He was a living promise, guiding Ethan and Harper to love, Lucas to redemption, and all of them to a truth that healed old wounds. You didn't see that coming, did you? It's the kind of twist that makes you want to rewatch this whole story, catching every clue you missed. Max, that golden-furred hero, wasn't just the heart of this tale. He was its soul, a reminder that sometimes the smallest creatures lead us to the biggest truths. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to carry forward. This story, trending on YouTube with hashtags like #LoveStory, #ViralDog, and #BillionaireRomance, isn't just about Ethan, Harper, and Max. It's about you, about the moments in your life when you felt lost, only to find your way through love, friendship, or even a furry companion. It's a reminder that the universe has a way of working things out, that every runaway moment can lead to something beautiful. I'm so grateful you've been here with me, feeling every twist, every heartbeat, every tear. You've made this journey special, and I hope you're walking away with a smile, maybe even a little more faith in the magic of life. So what's next? Hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs a good story, and let me know in the comments. What's your favorite moment? Was it Max's heroics, Ethan and Harper's love, or that final twist? And if you want more stories like this, subscribe, because I've got plenty more where this came from. Until next time, keep chasing your own happy endings, and never stop believing in the power of a good dog to change everything.